You have reached across the table. This is Hannibal and the Across the Table podcast. No bumper. Today I am on the holiday travel. November and December tend to be full with company holiday parties, and I am hired by different corporations and different private individuals to do magic shows all over the United States. So tonight I am in a random hotel room, which is comfortable and warm and beautiful, somewhere out in America. I did card tricks today. I got to hang out with a friend today. I made some very silver memories today. I'm troubled by things because the holidays always seem to bring a sense of melancholy to me since the change in my life. And I've resolved to do better for my fellow man in these times when I'm feeling nostalgic or melancholy, because there's tens and hundreds of thousands of us out there whose this time of year brings worry or anxiety or sorrow. And until things change, until change is made, also people like me are out here trying to bring a little joy and happiness and love. So that's what I'm trying to bring. Recent history. I believe this is episode 39, by the way, taking place between Thanksgiving and Christmas 2018. Today's date is the 13th of December, and I am very late in getting another one of these to you. But I do what I can, and I get them out when I can. And my records show me that about 30 to 40 people out there actually listen. I'm grateful for you. I hope my words bring you some comfort or some amusement or some insight. It's the best a man can hope for, right? 3 of my 4 children are still not talking to me because of ugly, nasty divorce. And that's okay. I understand. I try to understand. And I am patient. I am grateful for the one who does and who has reached out in love and understanding and has returned back into my life. I'm very, very grateful for that. The end of November saw me performing 2 weeks at the world-famous Magic Castle in what is now known as the Library Bar. I worked for years as a bar magician in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I learned how to work behind a bar, and I learned how to sell the drinks and hustle tips for the bartenders and keep the customers happy. Upsell apps and upsell drinks and help promote the business of the bar, while at the same time entertaining and making the patrons happy for my own artistic ego, bringing them something new, bringing them something fun, bringing them something different, some amazement, some amusement, some magic, because life is hard, yo, and sometimes we need magic in our lives, and that's what I'm trying to provide. So I did 2 weeks at the world-famous Magic Castle Library Bar. Had an incredible blast. The bartenders there are top-notch. I got the opportunity to work with some fantastic people, Risa and Patrick and Paul and other ones whose names, because I'm not good with names, Charlie, people that are fantastic to work with, loving, kind, enthusiastic, energetic human beings at the greatest place for performance conjuring in the world. I'm a very lucky man. I believe I gave them a good showing. I brought them my best for 11 days straight. People left happy. People left cheering. Records were broken. People were lined up waiting for the next show to start. And I was in my element. I was at home. I was shuffling cards and having cards chosen and reading minds and doing magic and doing what I do, doing the thing I love more than anything else. And ladies and gentlemen, life is criminally short. Do what you love and do it with your whole heart. And while you're doing it, use it to uplift and inspire and do for those who can't do it for themselves. That's worthwhile. That's worth living for. Life is too short to being a drudge of things that, or doing a job that you just don't like, just to earn the money, you know. I got several friends, people that I love dearly, who are out there shifting their positions, looking for different things to do, just not wanting to change their lifestyle, but chasing the dollar through any means necessary, and doing jobs that they don't necessarily care about, that aren't exercising their gifts simply for the money. And that's, sadly, that's a lot of what our world has come to, and what people look at as success. And I'm not here to preach to you. All I can tell you is what has worked for me, and the joy I get in doing what I do and using my gift and exercising that. I get paid. Somehow the universe takes care of my needs. Sometimes I live well, sometimes I live modestly, but I am always taken care of, and it's hard to remember that in the down times sometimes. And yes, there are responsibilities that need to be taken care of. All I can say is trust in the gift, and trust in whatever or whoever gave you that gift. Since I last sat down to record one of these, we lost a few people that were important in my life. Probably the most famous, Stan Lee, founder and creator of Marvel Comics. And here's a man who took, I'm going to use the term the world would use, a meager gift, but he had a genius of creativity. He created entire worlds. He indoctrinated thousands of terms and people and heroes into our culture. Not just our culture, but worldwide. Just a man with a thought in his head, and the drive to put it out in front of other people. From birth, from my earliest recollections, Spider-Man and the Vulture, and Doc Ock, and Thor, and the Hulk, and everything, all the tens upon scores upon hundreds of characters and scenarios and everything that came out of this one man's brain. He created a way of life for uncountable people. He inspired, and he lifted, and he in sharing his own imagination, he unleashed the imagination of countless people. What heroes do we have now? Because Stan Lee spoke up, said, here's my art, I want to share it with you. And also, in his doing so, he challenged societal norms. He saw some things that he didn't like in society, and he stood up for them through his medium, through his art. He protested racism, and he protested sexism, and he put forward these things bravely through the things that he had created. And I see out there people saying, you're just an actor, you're just an artist, you're just a magician. Why would you use your platform to preach to me about something, or to put forth your own agenda, or to put forth your own ideas or ideologies? And my answer to that is, why wouldn't you? If it's on your heart, if it's important to you, why would you not use your gift to set forth what your beliefs are? Isn't that what art is? Opening up your heart and spilling it out and saying, this is what I believe. I'm not expecting you to embrace everything that I say or do or stand for. But I'm going to stand up for my right to say it, to present it, to make it artistic. And in the meantime, I will stand up for your right, even if I don't agree with what you say, as long as you are not promoting hurting somebody else, or putting someone else in danger, or putting down someone because of who they are, how they were born. I will stand right beside you, and I will hold up your right to say what you have to say, and I'll use my art to help promote you in doing that. Maybe I'm rambling a little bit. It's very late, and my voice is kind of shot. but I felt like I had to say something. Stan, I don't have any illusions. I'm not. I'm of the I don't know camp, and I'm going to stand here and say I'm on this side of the road, and I don't know if you have any acknowledgement anymore of anything or any consciousness of what anybody says about you or does about you, but I cared about him. He was a huge part of my life for my entire life. And he led a good one. He changed the world. And when he was done, he was done. And he took his exit in a very noble way, I think. You couldn't really say that he was taken too early. He was in his 90s. But man, you got to wonder what would he have come up with tomorrow. But that's life. It's short. It's criminally short. We are not promised tomorrow. The other one I was going to talk about, or I was going to at least briefly discuss, is Ricky Jay. Ricky was in his 70s. Ricky was a master magician, master storyteller, master of his craft, master of himself. He was a kind of a movie star. He was an absolute magician. He was an absolute historian. I never met him. I never saw him perform live. But his influence is going to be over thousands of magicians worldwide as long as there is performance conjuring. Ricky Jay will be held up as an example of this was a unique man. This was a unique artist who presented what he wanted to in his own fashion, in his own way, with no compromise. And that's how I'd like to live my life as well. So Stan, Ricky, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for helping to create the man that I am today. More than likely, I'll be talking about these things more in depth again. But I wanted to establish it right out and tell you that my world has changed. I got to meet a childhood idol, someone else who's been a part of my life for as long as I've been alive. Dick Van Dyke came to the Magic Castle in the midst of my bar run, and I was asked if I would do a private show for him and his group, his guests that were there for dinner. And of course I will. This is Dick Van Dyke, and I dried my sweaty hands, and I calmed my steady nerves, and I breathed, and I went in and I gave him a hell of a show. And I'm going to tell you, those were his exact words. That was a hell of a show. I made Dick Van Dyke laugh. I made him gasp in amazement. I can't say what he said, but I got him to cuss out loud. And the people he was with were telling me he doesn't do that. He does not cuss. He does not. These words don't spring to his mouth often, but he did it a few times while I was performing, and I got to tell you, it's as good as a standing ovation. I got to perform for someone who's been performing for me my entire life. Someone who inspired me even as a child to learn tap dancing and to learn to dance, to learn to sing, to get up in front of people, get up on a stage. I mean, my mom showed me the Dick Van Dyke Show and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Mary Poppins and all of the things from a very young age, and he affected me, and I got to sit at a table right next to him. And let me tell you what, he's in his mid-90s too, but the man is as sharp as can be. He's 100% there. He got the jokes. He made jokes of his own. We had a intelligent conversation. This is something I will never forget for the rest of my life. And he gave me huge compliments. He said things to me that I'm going to keep private. I'm going to keep to myself because, honestly, to broadcast them would be too much like bragging, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to spoil the moment by seeming to brag, but he gave me some private encouragement, and I will forever be grateful because of that. I got to perform for Dick Van Dyke. What else could you ask for? I almost, I guess a lot, because I'm still out here doing what I do. Anyway, as soon as my run was over, it was holiday party time, and I have been to Atlanta and Charlotte and Wilmington, Jacksonville, Cleveland, Minneapolis, St. Louis, still to come, Baltimore, and Branson, Missouri, back to LA the week before Christmas to do Magic Bar LA out in Encino. I've been told it's already sold out. 4 shows already sold out, and hallelujah, bring some magic to the holiday. Back in another bar setting. There's things going on that I can't talk about, but after the beginning of the year, perhaps I will be able to give you more insight. But I've impressed some of the right people, and I've been in front of some of the right people, and there are some tentative things, no real offers made, but certainly some pretty straightforward talk about the future. And I'm looking forward to that. I will be without my family this Christmas. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do for those couple of days. I would really like to. What I've done in the past, and what's always helped my heart a little bit, has been to volunteer somewhere, to serve with the USO or serve homeless shelters or churches or something that was doing something for less fortunate on those days. Just a continuation. If I've got time, energy, entertainment, whatever I can give, I want to give it. And it helps to take some of the sting away of what I don't have on this day. I'm okay. I have love in my life. I have good friends that care about me. I have magic. My creativity is stronger than it ever has been before. I love myself more than I have before. I recognize things in myself that I haven't been able to recognize before, and I'm on the verge of being able to be proud of myself. There's a young lady who has entered my life. Without getting into too much detail, because this is still very much on the beginning stages of possibly anything. We are very good friends. There is an essence of romance there. Let me put it this way. She is very interesting, and she is very interested. How about that? No names. Not yet, anyway. In the future, if things work out, I'll tell you the whole story. But there's hope, There's hope for partnership and companionship, and someone actually finds me, the guy who's not on stage, fairly interesting. And the feeling is mutual. And in the meantime, I have the best of best friends. I have the greatest of great friends. I have people that love me in a surrounding of quality and excellence that I get to perform in. And I have love in my heart. I have not grown bitter or stoic or stony. Stoic's not a good word. Stoic's okay, but not stony. I haven't grown hard. How about that? It's the holiday season. Hanukkah is in the midst. It's in the midst of Hanukkah right now. A good friend of mine, in reading his writings, he's writing about each day of Hanukkah, and a couple of things that stood out. First of all, he held me up as a hero, and while I'm grateful for that I affect him in that way, it's difficult for me to accept that role. I do what I do, and I try to do it justly and truthfully. But the miracle of Hanukkah I'm going to try to do it the way I should have had it in front of me, and I don't, and I apologize for that. But I'm going to do it from memory as best I can, and I will correct later if I need to. But the miracle of Hanukkah is not that the oil lasted for as long as it did, but the miracle is that someone had the guts and had the courage and had the trust and the faith and the gift to light the wick in the first place. They took the step. They believed in their faith. They believed in the gift that they had been given, and they touched fire to the wick, and the world changed. Next week, 12 days from now, will be Christmas, and the renewal and the happiness and the joy that generally tends to bring to the season. Overall, there's a more lightheartedness, or there has been in my past, and that's the way I choose to view it, of giving of oneself, of opening one's heart just a little bit more, of smiling just a little bit easier, of listening just a little bit closer. And there's controversy about Christmas carols and winter carols and songs that get sung about this time of year, and I can see both sides of that. And I wish I could care, but I don't. I get it. I understand. It doesn't affect me. Maybe it affects... you know what? I don't. I can't make it something I care about, and so I'm not going to talk about it. I'll think it over. I promise to do that. I promise to meditate about it, and maybe I'll talk about it later. Maybe I won't. What I want to say is this. My favorite Christmas carol is a dumb song. I thought it was dumb the first time I heard it when I was just a boy, and I played the 45 over and over and over again, and every time I'd start it again, I would just, this is a dumb song. Boy, this is a dumb song, but man, the words stuck with me into adulthood. Little drummer boy. Yeah, I know. But the thing that sticks with me is the story. It's always the story, isn't it? It's always the story. I have no gift to bring that's fit to give a king. All I have is this grubby little drum and the gift in my hands. Can I play you a song? And that's it. That's all we're asked to do, isn't it? You've been given a gift, and we're asked to use it. And it pleases the giver when you use their gift. And that's true on all levels. I played my drum for him. I played my best for him. In the coming year, in the coming days, and whatever changes, and however I grow, in whatever direction I decide to go in, whichever way my path leads me, I'll play my best for you. I will give my best to you. This is all I can promise. I have a gift, and I'm going to use it. And I'm going to use it to the very best of my ability. And I'm going to do that exclusively for you, the people that listen, the people across the table, the people that support me with their ears, with their applause, with their money, with their laughter, with their gasps of astonishment, for the people that brought me here because I decided to walk this path. Earlier today, my best friend said to me, and I'm going to get this quote wrong because I should have written it down at the time, and I didn't do any research. I just decided to start recording. So I'm going to get this wrong, and I'm sorry. But I'm going to get close. There is a scene in the Lord of the Rings books where Aragorn is getting ready to leave Rivendell. And I believe it's Arwen. That's the part I'm probably going to get wrong. But in his frustration and in his anxiety and in his worry, he says to her, I cannot see the path in front of me. And she replies, just walk it. Just put your feet in front of yourself and walk the path. It'll open up in front of you. And I got to tell you, some of the best advice I've been given in I don't know how long. I can't see the path in front of me, but I'm going to walk it. I'm going to continue to walk it because I've been walking it for a long damn time. And there are times it hasn't been easy, and there's times when I've just flown down the road with not a care. And they all balance out in the end, don't they? I'm not going to quit my road. I'm not going to stop the walk. There are steps to be taken, there are hills to be climbed, there are new discoveries and new views to see. And I'm going to go see them all. I'm going to walk this. And for those of you that choose to walk with me for a little while, you're welcome. You're always welcome. Stand by my side, stand under the stars, see the view the way that I see it, take a little piece of it with you when you go. And when your path branches off from mine, I'll wish you well and I'll hug you goodbye. And I know that my walk will be a little bit easier because of you in it. And I hope that you can say the same about me. I do card tricks. I make people laugh and I tell stories. And that's my pledge. I'm going to keep doing it. And I will less than faithfully keep putting these words out when the inspiration strikes me. When it's time and I have actually something to say that I think is worth listening to. How's that for egotistical, huh? Yeah. Anyway. Thank you for this year. Thank you for those of you who've been beside me and behind me and around me and surrounding me with love. I literally could not do this without you. Anyway, that's it for now. I will make a promise to try to put out another one of these before Christmas time and finish the other things that I have on my heart. But right now, this feels like that's about it. That's really all I had to say. It's always a pleasure walking with you. It's always an honor to know that someone else has listened to the words and shared a part of my life. Who knows? Maybe I'll live forever. Right now, it's late. I'm in a warm, nice hotel room somewhere. I have work to do tomorrow. The work will be good. I have people that care. And I have you. And I'm glad of you. Do your thing. Use your gift. Uplift and inspire and do for those who cannot do for themselves. Love your enemies. Love your neighbors. Love yourself. Whatever you do, however it comes, I sincerely hope that there's love where you are. Good night. I love you.